Guys, Token Vaping. Oops, sorry, let me just adjust this and get all my female vaping friends in the picture. Token Vaping. Today's juice review is actually a really big honor for me. It wasn't the first video that I did, but it was the first one that I feel had probably one of the biggest impacts on my review career, so to speak. Main reasoning why is just I reached out to this company and I got the honor and opportunity to talk to the main gentleman behind it. He was kind enough to speak with me, about just vaping in general and things like that. Mr. Boonsakul, he is the main, one of the main gentlemen behind DaiSanGen juice lines. Their original line was one of, in my opinion, it was one of the first reviews that I did where I started to get really comfortable with what I was doing, and getting a better feel for how to speak a bit more about the lines that I was doing the reviews on. So in a way, I kind of owe him and his company for helping me blossom into a better reviewer, so to speak, if that makes sense. So I will always have a attachment to them. If you go, the other reasoning why, and I admit it's a little personal, but if you go to their website, it's DaiSanGen.juice.com, DaiSanGen juice.com. To their main, that is their website. You will see my photo that I did for their first review, or their original line. They also provide a link to my first video review for that line. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, definitely go. That is their original line. It was it had this is their logo from their original setup line. They had lychee, southern peach tea, ichigo cream, and vanilla custard. That was the original line that they started with. I fell in love with their vanilla custard and their ichigo cream. Very solid, on point, smooth vapes, no throat hit, great clouds. I've been a big fan of those two flavors from the get-go since I started vaping, and got to try them. The other two flavors, their lychee and their southern peach tea, were good as well. They did actually take the lychee and they kind of played around with it a little bit and perfected it a bit further to make it a much better version than they first started out with, which brings me to the review for this. This is a review update for DaiSanGen juice line. They have just brought out a new line with 3 completely new flavors and the 1 updated flavor. The name of the line it's called Hanuman. And for those who don't know, Hanuman is the Hindu monkey god. Some cultures recognize him as the actual monkey king, but he is the actual monkey god of the Hindu religion, and that is the main logo for their line on their labels. New labels are really, really cool looking. It is on these 3, and as you can see, this one is still sealed. I saved it for the video to do a first reaction, but also to show the safety seal on there. Too many times I get excited about trying a line, so I'll bust them all open and try them and then forget and realize that, they are safety sealed, and I do like to show that just for verification proof. It is a 4-flavor line. The 4th flavor, as I said, is actually got the original label from their first line. It's just been a little tweaked, but this is now called LycheeNi. It is an updated version. All of their juices, the original line and the Hanuman line, with the exception of this one, are all 60/40. They updated this one to a 70/30, and kind of, if for those of you that haven't seen the video or have yet to try this really solid flavor line, their original lychee flavor, in my opinion, and from feedback that they've gotten from other people as well, the lychee was a little bit stronger on the flavor in the original version, but it didn't seem to last as long throughout the vape. So they went ahead and tweaked it a little bit and went to this newer version, which is now a 70/30. So it's a little bit toned down on the PG, but they tweaked the flavoring of it a little bit. So now it does actually last throughout the vape. It's not as strong as the original version, but it lasts longer. So in my opinion, I believe it is a much better version of it. Some people, they do like the flavor of lychee, but it is a lychee. I'm sorry. It's that skinless looking fruit that you see in Asian restaurants. It is a very strong flavor. It's a very solid flavor, but for some people, it's a little potent off the get-go. So they, like I said, they did tone it down a little bit, but they did make it last longer throughout the vape. So it's definitely a much better version, and it's definitely a well done job as that. DaiSanGen, they do make their juices in a clean room that is located in Ventura, California. They do offer 4 nicotine levels right now, but they are phasing out one of them, and I believe the main reason why is just because there isn't as huge of a base for it. And like a lot of companies nowadays, more so they're focusing more on the fulfillment of the vape and the enjoyment of it, as opposed to how many nicotine levels or how strong a nicotine or throat hit that you can have in it. Because obviously, you know, the higher nic level you go, the harsher of a throat hit you're going to have, and that tends to take away from the vaping experience itself. So right now they do have a 0, a 3, a 6, and a 12. But as I stated, I believe they're phasing out the 12. Now the Hanuman line just offers the 0, 3, and the 6. So they're already set in that as far as that goes. They do offer 3 bottle sizes, a 15, a 30, and a 120 ml. Now pricing is going to vary a little bit because they don't have a direct sale on their website as of yet. So they go through other shops and other web pages as far as, you know, for the sale of them. Online, if you go on their main webpage, they do shout out Charlie's Vape Bar and Lounge and SoCal Vape Lounge. The 15 mils generally go for about $10 to $12, depending on what site or shop you go to. And then, you know, the 30 and the 120s are going to be average about for other shops as well. You know, a lot of shops you can range anywhere from about 22 to 24 for a 30 mil, depending on, you know, where you're located, etc. So there isn't a set price on it. It's just depending on who you order it from. Now, as I stated, the first line for them, the original line, was very solid, very on point. Vanilla custard, Ichigo cream were my 2 favorites out of those 4. The vanilla custard was just a pure vanilla custard, smooth vape, solid, very flavorful. The Ichigo cream, and actually was their strawberry flavor, which is ironic because Ichigo it actually does mean strawberry in Japanese, so it does fit. But for this one, they went a little bit, I'm not going to say off course, because that sounds wrong, but they went a little bit outside the box as far as for flavor wise. So the 3 new ones, as I stated, because the 4th one is just the update of the lychee flavor. Oatmeal Cookie, Jolly Ralph, and the one that I'm going to do a first impression for on the video is Keylime Pie. Now, real quick, the label, they do have the new logo with the Monkey King. It does say Hanuman, and it does have Jolly Ralph, which is the name of the flavor, nicotine level, warning and ingredients label as well. So they do have the standard requirements on there. The labels are well done. They are artistically done. They do have a very nice style to them. Um, they are safety sealed, as you can see right here. Child safety cap as well, glass bottle. And these obviously are the 15 mils. But if you haven't had the chance to try their first line, I definitely say to try it. It definitely is worth sampling. If not, this is a decent point to jump on as well. I'm not a big candy fan, and honestly, I'm not a huge oatmeal fan. So neither one of these flavors are going to be my giant go-to as far as flavor choice. But nonetheless, with that said, they are still following in suit with their original line. The flavors are definitely on point. The Jolly Ralph is the green apple Jolly Rancher, which I tend to, if I do have one at all, it's usually the green apple one. Um, Basically, it's exactly that, with a little bit of a subtleness to it. So all of their flavors, which I myself actually kind of like about them, they carry the flavor throughout the vape, but it's not as strong as the actual flavor. So it's not a straight in your face, just boom, and then just overdo it with the flavor power. A lot of times that tends to make the vape a little much so that you can't vape on it all day. It just tends to take its toll on you eventually, as far as just being a little more than what you're wanting to handle at any one point. So in that sense, they definitely know what they're doing as far as avoiding that aspect of it. The oatmeal cookie, I have had an oatmeal cookie before, and this literally has that subtle, solid, fresh baked. I won't say it's going to taste exactly like it came out of the oven. To me, it's more of just baked after it cooled, because it doesn't have that. It's not meant to. At least it just doesn't feel like it's meant to have that warm, like literally open the oven, take them out, and try one right at that moment. After you let a fresh baked cookie cool, that first initial taste you have of that first bite, that's what I got out of it. Which for some people that works better. I think it has a better appeal to it than trying it right out of the oven. Um, Other than that, I mean, it is what it's supposed to be. It is an oatmeal cookie. It does have that it does taste like oatmeal, but it has more of that cookie crumble taste to it. After you start chewing it, that aftertaste that you pick up from a cookie when you're eating it, that's pretty much what I got out of that vape itself. Still very solid. Flavor is definitely on point in that aspect. Very much, very much worth it. It's not a bad vape if you do happen to like um, oatmeal or oatmeal cookies in that sense. It's definitely worth a try. All of these flavors are definitely worth a try. None of them have, in my opinion, fallen short in any aspect as far as whether it's flavor or clouds, and I will show you that on this. The LycheeNi, like I said, just a great update to an already solid flavor, but they have figured out how to make it that much more enjoyable and make you want to vape on it longer. Now, this is the one I saved it just because I have tried this flavor in various forms and I am started to kind of like it a little bit more. But it is the Keylime Pie. So, and like I said, this is for a first reaction on the video, and I saved it so that you could see that there is a safety seal on it. So, let me go ahead and bust the seal, and then I will go ahead and do the vape and show you what the cloud production of it is. Because remember, it is technically a 60-40 mix. So, for some people, that might be too low on the VG side. But I will be honest with you, off the first line, the vanilla custard and the Ichigo cream, definitely did not vape like a 60-40 at all. I've yet to get a throat hit out of any of these, even though it is a much higher PG percentage than I'm used to vaping by choice. So they definitely know what they're doing when it comes to the to mixing and still being able to make a solid mix, juice mix. And why am I having such a problem? And as you can tell, I'm still having issues getting this. So it is actually sealed well. But on that note, real quick, on a serious aspect of it, if you do get any of these bottles, definitely make sure that you check the seal, because if any of them have been tampered with, or look like they have been torn or ripped or opened in any way, shape, or form, do not vape it for health and safety reasons. Just don't do it. Let the shop know where you got it from. Let DaiSanGen know if you ordered it online. Let whatever website you ordered from know, and it will get taken care of. Just for safety standards, we just want to be safe when we vape. So, hence the hashtag, vape safely. But I don't know why I'm having such a problem taking this off, but it shows how tough that this is meant to stay on. So, Keylime Pie, I'm going to go ahead and vape this. Now, if you've seen my recent thank you video, George from Cloud Industries allowed me the privilege of providing me and letting me get this really cool box mod. It is unregulated, so it doesn't have a setting or anything like that. So this is actually what I'm going to be using, just because I really like the way that this hits. And for my cotton I'm using, it is Texas Tough from USA_Vape Mama. It is not a pansy-ass cotton ball. It is a very solid wicking cotton. Definitely holds flavor really well, so it'll hold up for this test. Now, on the first inhale, that's all you smell is the lime zest. But it is not as strong as I have smelled in other versions of this. It is not a piercing smell to your nostrils. It is not an overly strong odor, but it's definitely lime. And you definitely get that out of that. So I'm going to drip this real fast, and then I will go ahead and do the vape. And as I said, it is a 60-40, so it does seem a bit more, the viscosity on it does seem a bit more fluid on it. But Keylime Pie from DaiSanGen on my box mod, again, it's unregulated, so there is no specific setting for it. As you can see, clouds are pretty decent. Now, on a 60-40 mix, the clouds aren't going to be as thick as you've seen on a lot of other lines. They're not specifically looking for set clouds or set flavor. They're trying to find a nice, comfortable mix of the two. Definitely get the key lime, but again, not harsh, not strong, not overpowering. It's smooth and subtle, but it does have enough of a little kick to it to where you definitely do taste it, but it's still enough that it's not going to overtake the vape so that you feel like you cannot vape it at all. Now, even though I say that it is a smooth vape, again, you have to remember it is a 60-40 mix, so there is a very slight throat kick. Not enough to be like, hacking type thing like that, by any means, not at all. But I do have to let you know that if it is something that you do not like or you try to veer away from, this does have a slight hit on the very end of it. It's not throughout the entire vape. It's not a really strong hit, but it is enough to let you know that it is there. And like I said, it's mainly on the end of the vape. But still, solid clouds, great flavor. So, new line, DaiSanGen juice, still follows the great, procedures and overall flavor and vape as their original line. So it's good to see that even though they're trying to expand themselves and offer more flavor options, now that they have two lines, they still have the same consistency and they still have the same dependability as far as how well of a vape it is, and if it's something that you could use as an all-day vape. Now having the two lines on there with the 7 flavors, you definitely have a wider assortment to choose from. So now it might be a little bit easier to be able to pick a flavor from this line. But definitely check them out. Like I said, their first line was amazingly solid and on point. This line follows suit with that, with flavors that are definitely different from their first one, but they're not so unique that you're like, wow, I never thought of that as a vaping flavor, or that just seems a little odd that they picked that one. Very good, very on point, great all-day vape options. If you're looking for something a little bit lighter, since it isn't as heavy on the VG that a lot of lines have become, so to speak. But again, DaiSanGen Juice, thank you guys with all of my heart. Thank you very much for allowing me the continued privilege and honor to do another review for you guys. This was an amazing opportunity, and I'm very grateful for that. Guys, definitely check them out. They have their webpage, DaiSanGenJuice.com. They are on Instagram and Facebook as well. Definitely hit them up, check them out. As always, I'm Token Vaping. Subscribe to me here on YouTube. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. Follow, like, comment, email, anything that I can do to help enhance your vaping experience and make it better. That's all that I'm about. Until next time, guys, vape on, vape strong.